बोलिए सतगुरु महाराज जी की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय. Today we present weekly satsang from Akhand Gyan from the monthly magazine of Divya Jyoti Jagriti Sansthan and is inspired by His Holiness Ashutosh Maharaj ji. Today's article is from the year 2011 from the month of June. Today's topic is How to Attain Happiness. Ask a person about life. The answer we receive is, it's all about being happy. Further, when inquired how to attain happiness, his immediate response is by achieving what we aspire for, by fulfilling our desires. It is a well-experienced fact that we feel dejected and distraught, sink to low spirits when our desires are not fulfilled. We are therefore propelled to satiate our desires, which generally comprise of improvements in the standard of living. So we are out to acquire more and more comfort-giving objects and luxuries, an opulent and palatial house, a fleet of cars, etc. But do these earnings lend us the requisite happiness? The truth is that in our attempt to attain happiness, we rather get robbed of it. One ultimately finds himself in more problems instead of getting rewarded with joy and satisfaction. So, now the question that stands before us is, how can we actually attain happiness? The answer lies in a basic concept of economics. Needs are unlimited and the resources to satisfy them are limited. So, in order to be happy, contented, and peaceful, the need is not to do a tug of war for limited resources, but to limit our desires. Each individual should put a restraint on his desires so that the summation of his desires does not outgrow his resources. But how to limit desires? When the senses sense something, they provoke us to acquire it. However, senses, the driving forces behind the desires for luxury and comfort, are themselves commanded by the mind. Verily, it is mind which is ultimately responsible for all our desires. Mind alone stimulates us for gaining name, fame, power, etc. Hence, in order to put a check on our desires, we need to control our mind. For this to be possible, something more powerful than mind is demanded. In this regard, where our intellectual and brainy studies and research fail to provide us to a practically applicable solution, spirituality helps us out. It unveils the fact that the power superior to mind and body is the spirit that dwells in every being. The science of spirituality, in fact, deals with the practical realization of the soul within, by the grace of a perfect master. Once realized, it helps the being in exercising control over his mind and body. It is because when one meditates upon the light of his soul, his power of discrimination gradually awakens. Through this power, he attains perfection in selection and rejection of desires, thus keeping a control over them. Hence, we need to search for such an enlightened guide who can bless us with the direct realization of the soul, thereby revealing to us the perennial source of happiness, in fact, eternal bliss. To read more such articles, please subscribe to the monthly magazine Akhand Gyan, available in 3 languages, English, Punjabi, and Hindi. You can subscribe to the magazine by clicking on the link mentioned in the description.